Guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. And this one, let's just focus and highlight on EZA Physical Super Saiyan 4 VEGITO. This guy is just, I mean, terribly important for the new Heroes batch of characters. One of the huge weaknesses of this team, I mean, we just take a look at it, is the HP total. The biggest problem we're gonna have to get through with this team is just flat out going to be the HP pool. That it's not you know, overreacting to something or making it up or anything like that. It is a significant issue having this little HP with how hard the bosses hit. Now, I do think that the Heroes team, to me, it does seem like they are going to be much more competitive this year than last year for sure, but that HP pool is still going to be pretty bad. Now, the good news is that this guy, as an EZA character, look at these stats. These are good stats. His HP is very high. His attack is LR level. His defense is good. So he, across the board, has good stats. I do think that for the two Vegitos, their best setup is just going to be a grade 8 power team. With LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, something like that is going to be effective. Because the Vegitos, I mean, this Vegito supports grade 8 power, and then Limit Breaker Vegito, he just needs either crossover allies or grade 8 power. So they're going to be at their most effective on the grade 8 power team, which I think is actually legitimate. It is. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you do need him to put in work. You'll need LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to not, you know, bitch up and make sure he doesn't get caught. But grade 8 power, I think, is a legitimate team with the two Super Saiyan 4 Vegitos being as impressive as they are. Since we didn't get this guy's details ahead of time, so let me just quickly go over what he does fast, and then we'll jump right in. So, super attack effect, our boy is getting 50% defense, and he's doing immense damage. Actually, we could just do it right here, right? So he's getting the 50% defense. He gets 180% attack and defense. Then he gets another 60% attack and defense on super attack. He gives 1 key and 30% stats to crossover. 1 key, 30% stats to grade 8 power, which is good. Then he has 5% damage reduction for each ally in either crossover or grade 8 power categories, whichever has the most members. Dokkan was actually quite kind that they did this, by the way. They allowed us, for the Vegitos, to either use grade 8 power or crossover. I think that works well. That's good, that's good. And then lastly, remember that he is a super attack counter character, but keep in mind that those were just buffed. So he has, it's not a high chance to dodge and counter, now it's a high chance to nullify and counter. So, I mean, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is a character with damage reduction, supporting a super attack counter, and decent stats. He's good. I think he's good. 252 right here. Again, remember, he would be getting 60% from super attack and then 50% from his super attack effect. He does have some damage reduction. But again, you could maybe get away with a little bit more with Vegito compared to, you know, maybe some other characters that have similar levels of defense, because this guy essentially does have a high chance to dodge enemy super attacks. And I say dodge, but it's a nullification, right? High chance to nullify. Better way to say it. Link set. Super Saiyan. Kamehameha. Fuse Fighter. Power bestowed by God. Prepare for battle. Saiyan Roar. Fierce battle. Again, I think grade 8 power is a legitimate team, man. I mean, when you consider the whole team is going to be rocking Saiyan Roar, it's, you know, it matters. It does matter quite a bit. All right, let's see what Vegito gets out for us right here. 11 million attack stat with at least decent defense. Remember, best case scenario, what we care about from this Vegito is his ability to tank normals, because any boss super attack in the game, he will have a 50% chance to just say no to them. So that's fairly meaningful, right? All right, let's just go ahead and get through this turn. Let's get a couple of rotations of this physical Vegito. But again, I would say from what I'm seeing from physical Vegito, I do think they did enough for him. There's always room for improvements with like nearly any character, right? So, you know, he can get, how much damage reduction is he able to get up to? Is it 30%? He's able to get, no, it's 30, he can get 35, right? 35% damage reduction, that is a weird number, right? Like, we don't typically see a number of that like that, because it would be 5 times 7. So Vegito is able to get up to 35% damage reduction. That's not a common number that we see. But 35% damage reduction with the support, with the high chance to nullify, you know, we could, you know, do some stuff. I would, of course, encourage people to have both Vegitos. I think that's not very good for Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku right there. I mean, he does need to get all those hits. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. That's not a good showing by Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku right there. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, he will be a little bit more effective with his damage reduction with whatchamacallit, the Super Saiyan, the Great Ape Power characters on rotation, right? All right, so Vegito, yeah, I mean, we could just have him go right away. No reason to wait or anything like that. Maybe we would see Rose try and super attack him. Maybe we can get that nullification in. But again, I think he should be able to perform pretty well, right? These two together, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito right now should work rather well together. Now, keep in mind, right now, I think that some of these heroes' characters are definitely good enough, right? Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, absolutely they're good enough. We did just kind of feel, oh, nice, we're going to get it, yeah. Notice that, the little flash right there. So here, of course, is his nullification right there. Gonna be very handy to be able to just pop that out, right? Having all links activated with this guy, yeah, I do like what we're seeing here. Again, maybe if we wanted to make Vegito a little bit better, I mean, I don't know, maybe he could have gotten 7% damage reduction per ally in the team or something like that, but I mean, giving him damage reduction as a support character, nullification, decent attack stats is looking good. Again, I would recommend going like a full dodge build for both Vegitos. I feel like to kind of complement them. I mean, Limit Breaker Vegito, I feel like it's very obvious. I know that there's people who just, no matter what, they're just going to say no to dodge, sure, whatever. But I guess physical Super Vegito, the alternative would be to give him additionals. Because he at least is getting defense. Oh, actually, this is a little bit of a tough rotation for Pan. I guess if Pan gets caught and we die right here, we probably only need to get like one more rotation out of EZA Vegito. Like, we're kind of seeing, you know, the numbers that he's putting up and stuff like that. Remember that he is supporting all these characters, you know, all the stuff he's doing. Like, we kind of get the gist of what he's doing, right? But I think giving him additionals in the hidden potential system to EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito could be good, because he does get he gets 50% defense per super attack, right? So being able to pop supers like that, getting that 50% defense a second time could be good. You're pretty much probably always going to be running this guy in slot 2. I would say the one instance, all right, well, let's do one more turn. All right, yeah, like I was saying, I think Vegito with additionals could be good, because typically we're going to be running this guy in like slot 2 or 3. Let Limit Breaker Vegito handle slot 1. The one point where I think that this guy pretty comfortably could go in slot 1, and I think it would be a good idea, and I think you probably would want to do that, would be in the Omega fight, because it's long enough that Limit Breaker Vegito, he'll lose his, you know, initial damage reduction with his intro. That will go away for him. Right, and then, you know, physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito will have type advantage against Omega. You could sit him in slot 1. He's got the chance to nullify the super attack from Omega anyway, right? So you could be really in business going up against the Omega boss fight with this guy in slot 1. So, you know, not bad. All right, let's just go ahead and finish this off. Let's just get, like, one final turn right here, seeing Super Saiyan 4 Vegito in action, and we can finish up. So, let me know what you guys think of EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, but I do like him. I do. I think he's effective. I think, considering the strength of all the stats he can get from his links, his support, the nullification, the damage he could do, I do think that he's a fairly good character. Okay, this will be good. We can see how much damage. This Rose does, I think, like 700,000, and he does 85k right there. Yeah, I mean, that's Vegito's damage reduction really cutting that up. I mean, we just saw Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku eat 300k, the loser. and then there's Super Saiyan 4 Vegito cutting down much more. So I think that he was given a good EZA. It's one of those things, too, where it's like, you know, he's like a good or solid EZA, but the fact that both Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito are good, and you could pair them together, and they have almost all links activated, and they do kind of cover each other's weaknesses a little bit. That helps. They didn't just give us the, you know, the one character and say, have fun. You know, when they dropped Super Trunks, they just dropped Super Trunks, and we did not have, you know, the Android Cell Saga characters. We do now, but at the time, we didn't, right? They dropped Kale, and they say, have fun. You have no help for Kale. They actually dropped a Heroes, you know, major release character, which is the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, and then immediately they gave him a strong asset to pair with him in this EZA physical Vegito. So, unlike last year, I think Dokkan, these Heroes batch characters seem pretty good.